I'm in my scrubs because I'm about to perform surgery on this old guitar, which is a Hagstrom from around 1965. Now, I love this guitar, and I played it for so many years after my other Hagstroms were stolen. But this one is on a second neck because it's a Hagstrom 3, but it's got a Hagstrom 2 neck, so that's obviously not the original. Look how slender the neck. Oh yes, they're so slender, and that's what makes Hagstrom so nice. And they have a nice straight angle here with a hold down bar, so they stay in tune very well. The tremolo system works very well, and it puts the bar in your hand in a nice place because the tremolo system is back there behind the fixed bridge, which is a metal one that came on the Hagstrom 3s. So today I'm going to do surgery. Now you see it's got a battery in it. This was the first guitar in San Francisco that had active onboard electronics, so they couldn't stop me from plugging my stuff in at the jam session. So here's what I'm going to do to it. Now this is a DiMarzio Fat Strat pickup, the FS1. They're very rare, but I happen to have found another one in my stash. So I'm going to put this one in this position. I'm going to throw out the old antique but never very good Hagstrom pickup, and I'm going to put in this one, and I'm going to put it upside down, and that way it'll buck hum. It turns the magnets around, and that's what they call reverse wound, but it's not reverse wound, it's reverse magnet, because there is no direction to the winding. So, or that is, you could switch the wires easily. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the strings off, take it all apart, and this hasn't been taken apart for some 20 years. Now, it's got a couple of special features. It's got the active onboard electronics, and it's got this can opener here. Now, I was at the Cafe de Grand, and my guitar was malfunctioning. So I asked around if anybody had any screws, a piece of metal with a couple holes in it. Well, the club owner, who hated me, by the way, because he liked country music, he came up with a can opener, a couple screws, and somebody found a screwdriver, maybe him, and I fixed my guitar on the spot. And you know, these are plastic and they always rip out, so I put the metal, but I epoxied it and it came loose, so now I screwed it down, and after that I never fixed it anymore. That was it. So now every time I take it apart, I got to take the can opener off, you know, but it's a solid way of mounting this piece of metal, and the thing is, the plastic was no good. It just ripped out. So here we go with, and this is not an original knob. It's like a Jackson knob or something. It's a metal knob. So that wasn't original. So I'll start with the surgery, but I'm going to spare you. You know, I'm not going to make you watch me take the strings off and stuff like that. But here we go, because I'm in Las Vegas, and you know, I sometimes need a guitar that'll buck hum. You know, I don't usually run into neon signs anymore, but some things do throw noise in the line, and so I need to buck hum. Okay, it's opened up. Now, she likes it too. She wants that attention. So, here's what's going on. The inside of a Hagstrom, they had tin foil. Now, a lot of the tin foil is worn off. But you see, they had this little spring thing, and it was supposed to hit the tin foil here and make a ground. But that went bad a lot, so we use a ground wire. Now, and that's right here. I'm going to take this pickup out. It's a terrible thing to do, but I'm going to do it. And see all the switches, and crammed in between the switches is a circuit. Oh, it's hard to see. It's hard to see, but there's a little transistor crammed in there somewhere. A couple of capacitors. Oh, it's crammed inside that piece of paper. Ooh, she's trying to get me. She wants the attention instead of the guitar. But the guitar is going to get attention today. Look how little she is. She's full grown and she's 5.5 pounds. She's a third of the size of a regular cat. Here's the truss rod adjustment and their famous H-beam stabilized neck. The necks were so thin, they had this aluminum beam inside with the truss rod in there, and they hoped that would stabilize it. Now I put some more tin foil in here for shielding. And, you know, it should all be connected together, and I will connect it all together. There's still tin foil under here, but I put a piece of paper over there, so in case it touches anything over there, it wouldn't short it out. Well, now I'm answering the question, could it get any uglier? Answer is yes. It's got an upside down pickup in it, mounted from the front. So that's ugly, but that's the way I got to do it if I wanted to buck hum. And here's what you do. We want them to be in phase, but I've turned one of them upside down, and that puts the magnets going the other way. And so you notice they have the exact same kind of wire. They were made at the same time. These are both antiques. And so this one has white wire hot. That one has a white wire hot. This one's going to have black wire hot. And that's how they stay in phase but buck hum. Anybody want to buy a classic Hagstrom pickup to complete your Hagstrom project? They were not very good. They squeal at high volume. They sounded great, but you know, they were wound on a plastic bobbin with the magnets inside, and that's a formula for squeal. And I'll tell you what else had a plastic bobbin inside. Gibsons. And that's why Gibsons are not good for super amounts of volume with distortion. They squeal. And now before I close it up, I am going to spray the pot with alcohol. The switches I can do from the outside. I exercise it, of course. And that should help clean it up. Okay, bridge tower is going back in. Left-handed. Now it looks like a guitar again. Now, yeah, it looks funny with that upside down pickup in the middle. Hey, nobody will notice from 30 feet. Yeah, it's odd. But we do what we have to do. They did not make reverse wound FS1s in 1973. Okay. After about 3 or 4 times taking it apart, the patient is conscious. Now, strangely enough, this FS1 pickup, the second one here, turned out to be reverse poles. I put it next to the other one, it repelled. And I realized, oh my God, it's reverse. So, hear that hum? I'll turn on the second pickup. Listen to that. It bucks hum and it sounds like single coils. It's great. So now, I want to talk about what makes a great guitar. You know, sounding good is wonderful, but that's only a good first step. After that, it's got to not squeal at super high volume. And then, how's the neck? How thick is it? How thick do you like it? Well, this one's extremely slender and delicate. And then, does it stay in tune? Can you dive bomb for 45 minutes or an hour without going out of tune? So all these are considerations. Are the frets deep enough so you never have a string slip out from under your finger? See, we like those jumbo frets or scallop necks. So, you know, what makes a guitar super is different than what makes it, you know, the YouTube average guitars they say are so great. You know, you take an old-fashioned Strat to the gig, well, dive bombing may be a problem. That's why some of them got smashed. You'll notice the ones that Jimi Hendrix smashed, they went out of tune first. Then he smashed them. But, you know, I am not at all sad about trashing the classic pickup. the classic Hagstrom pickup, which is now for sale. To who, I don't know. But the DiMarzio FS1. And, you know, I put silicone around here. And I did that because at super volume, I don't want it to anything. And I'll probably do the same thing around here. Because, you know, it holds it. It's like, you ever have a pickup squeal and you grab it with your hand, you grab it with your fingers and it stops? Well, maybe you didn't, but I did. And so that's what it's like. And I didn't have to turn the pickup around because, surprisingly, I put one on top of the other and it repelled. The magnets were put opposite. I didn't know such a thing existed. But anyway, it does in fact buck hum. Check this out. Not that hum is an issue right now, but in the summer where everyone's using their air conditioner, it's much markedly louder in the neighborhood. Okay, there's some hum. It bucks out. Isn't that wonderful? This old guitar, and here's the middle pickup. It's bucked. Isn't that good? So that little amount of hum compared to that signal. That's why Hagstroms are good. So wonderful. It bucks. Now here's without bucking. Even more wonderful, but it hums. Some people don't like that. So, hey, I'm very happy with it. Now I can sell all my other guitars. Do I have to sell? Well, I just want to keep 4 Jacksons, 2 Gibsons, a couple Fenders, and that's almost all. And, of course, my Danelectro Longhorn. What if the guitars are homemade? They don't count, right? Look at that. 2 DiMarzio Fat Strat pickups. Now, nothing in this guitar, the big frets, these particular pickups, the transistors, all that stuff, nothing in here was unavailable in 1970 or so. So, wow, huh? A guitar that could have been made back then. In fact, it was. And it's as good as modern guitars.